Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Roach Wiggle, October 19th, 2023. It's a good day. I have a lot of news to share. We'll probably be using this live stream mostly as spitballing some things for the upcoming site overhaul. I'm going to wait for some more people to trickle in here while saying hi to Alan, Some Eggs, Jojo Bugs, Title. What is the emoji you put there? Is it a styrofoam cup, maybe? LC, hello. I was going to actually even maybe try to work through some emails or something here, but I don't think that's going to happen, actually. Maybe. I might try to do it when I get into the site work type stuff, calling all the space. Yeah, let's see. What was I going to... A couple of things I was going to mention. Again, I dropped to 4 people. It's weird. Maybe we had to drop in the connectivity or something. But Ebony Bucks... Yeah, I wonder what's going on here. I'm having some little bit of latency issues on my end, it looks like. Just trying to get into some other stuff that I have pulled up. Something must be slurping down the... something must be slurping down the bandwidth at the moment. Maybe. Am I coming through all right to everybody? It looks like I'm still able to do it around... Yeah, maybe it's just a YouTube side thing. That's interesting. So, yeah, I don't know how much to talk about before we get a better number of people here. Okay, I'm here. Go ahead and start. Says a Zen Monkey. Yeah, I gotta check in maybe in the Discord and see what was up. I should go ahead and just make a file folder for general website overhaul stuff. Overhaul plans / features. We'll go ahead and get that started now, as it is on the docket of upcoming things, because every day we creep closer to oblivion, and it never stops. So it's almost November already, and then after November, December, and hopefully my life slows down a bit. So anyways, yeah, I'm hoping we can get our viewership up before I start popping news and relevant stuff. I don't know if I want to put a poll up for anything I'm going to talk about. So I guess I'll pass it to the people who are here and see if anything is new with anybody. Anything new with your bugs? Anything new with your lives? Kyle, what are you drinking tonight? Says Title. I'm having another one of these caffeine-free Zevia things. Angela was... we both have the discussion of the even if it's natural, it's not necessarily good for you type stuff. And today I brought in a stevia leaf. I actually forgot I was growing it. It's way back in a pot near like the rabbits and the chickens. And finally time for a harvest. And so I brought it in and was like, here, eat this. And he's like, oh, that's so good. I can eat that like candy. That makes such a good tea. And I'm like, yeah, that's like the only ingredient in these for like the sweetener. So orang mango, let's see. Answer the drinking question. Cheers to orang mango. Alan forgot to look for gentiana. I forgot to look for it too. I was supposed to go back to a Fed to find some I saw last year, and I forgot. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Actually, I have some planted somewhere in the front yard. I need to go do seed collecting. I need to get Will to stay here more than 5 seconds after we finish work tomorrow to go collect seeds, because like the clock is ticking on getting that stuff. So anyone want Argentine ants? Eric Matthews, is such a shame your Argentine ant situation. That's got to be difficult to deal with. One of the pluses of living in Michigan's climate is we don't really have a lot of ant problems here. Orang mango. So I did not actually produce the Procypocoilus but I've gotten several leucanids to pupate, and I am rearing the larvae, and they're just eating like well-rotted wood, like post mycelium clean out of stuff. I guess again, the Eastern hobby calls it flake soil. It's just very well decomposed wood. Well, actually, let me think. I think the basis for their substrate is flake soil. I think I did actually put in some like fresher white rotted wood, like some 2 years aged white rotted wood. So the mycelium's no longer super active. It's already gone through and broken down a lot of the wood. So it's very soft. It's pretty much it's a good go-to for a lot of things. Um, so Jonathan Green, welcome. Jonathan, I was just looking at uh, the Grylus assimilis, and there's already like second and third instars in with them. I'm so glad. I appreciate you risking sending me the group of them, but I think we're good now. And going into the winter, when the air gets dry and all the ventilation, all my crickets just go nuts. Like they love it. It's actually over the summer. It's kind of a battle to keep some of the crickets going because I've had to move a couple of them to like salvation setups. My halfways to Tor Weeps had like a huge crash after I sent some out, and then a bunch of grain mites popped up. And I was, if I had not just gone through this with a couple of my other Grylus, I would have been a little bit more scared. But I grabbed enough of them. They'll be fine. They'll rebound very quickly. That's just what Grylus do. But yeah, I threw them into that. Basically, I'm actually going to be looking into maybe doing like in my Grylus setups, having separate lay cup things, not to move to new enclosures, but to like, I mean, I could do that if I was like suicidal, because that means I have to every week or so or something I have to move. It wouldn't be so bad to have like a rearing container and then a hatching container. I need more space. I don't have that's too much of a space commitment at the moment to do that for Grylus. And the problem with not having the substrate is Grylus want to be dry, except they drink and eat a lot, so you need to like hydrate them frequently with misting. They're even worse than like little ectobioid roaches in that way. Anyways, yeah, the Similis are doing fine. I'll refine some husbandry for all this stuff. It's got to be practical for normal people too. In general, Jordan Henderson, how late am I? Not late at all. You're just getting here right on time, and we're getting a good number of people filing in here. Intelligent viewers who bother to read the description will notice that there's a giveaway this week, and I'll go into that a little more in a second. Actually, I have a very specific giveaway thing in mind I need to go and look up. LC says, if my pepper roaches are fine, does that mean they need more space? Males will fight of some species. I've never seen it as a huge problem in any of my cultures. I've never been like, oh, I need to call males. That's not something that I do. But people have reported that before, and it's pretty natural for some of the male blabrids to fight sometimes. Eric, it's interesting that the Anisomorpha ignored oak and bramble. Some Anisomorpha don't really like bramble. I've noticed some of the localities do. That might be one of them. But they were on oak here. They were on black oak, and I did give them privet. No, I give them. They've already been rotated through privet, black oak, and honeysuckle. So they might just not like the species of oak that you're offering them for some reason. Jonathan Green, I'm always happy to play culture tag. Of course, since I've been feeding the dog food, they haven't eaten anyone since. Just that they're literally like 7 to 8 males all chirping themselves to death. Yeah, don't worry, I'll fix that soon. Speaking of fixing that soon, by the end of this week, we will be on track, at least for all the auction orders. I really should have said estimated ship week was the dates that I gave to people. I'll learn from that and do that next time. That's actually what I kind of meant, but I just put that on there because I had a auto copy paste thing for auction order responses. So, anyways, so I'm actually on track. If everything goes out tomorrow, Will's going to be here, so I think I am going to be able to get everything out on time, except for the University Ento Club order. Your guys' thing will probably be pushed to next week or even the following with the way the schedule and packaging's going. Orang Mango, do you think it would be problematic to keep some sand brats with the Venezilla arizonicus? Probably not. Although those occur in two different habitats. The sand brats are in the like active. They're in like the really true creosote barren desert with the Cubaris benetensis, and the Venezilla arizonicus are more like grassland. I mean, it's still a very arid place. If you go there when it's not a rainy year, it'll look very deserty. But if you go there during a rainy year, then you see that there's like 4-foot tall grass everywhere, and so they're an arid land species, but it's more subtropical grassland, temperate grassland, subtropical grassland, I think. Eric Matthews, what do the anisomorpha eggs look like? Everything looks like poop. They will be the smaller, smoother looking things mixed in with the poop, and usually they're darker colored too. This is I actually would advise this, but you can go around and pick up some of the stuff that's in the bottom and squish it, and when you have an anisomorpha egg, it will pop open. It'll be, you will get liquid on you. I know that's a sacrificing one of them, but at least then you get the search image and you know what to always look for. Elsie, what do horseshoe crabs like? Horseshoe crabs like the actual horseshoe crab, or like horseshoe crab roaches? Lorraine K, my giant stick bugs are doing amazing on cuttings of blackberries and water and live mini roses. Also, I hope you got my payment and it made sense. Probably I have to go through and do more clearing out of emails. I don't know if I'm going to do it tomorrow, actually. I got to see how soon Will gets here, and I really do want to finish getting shipping stuff out. But as with Joy, your order has shipped. USPS should have forwarded the tracking. But basically, if anything's missing or altered or anything in the order, I anticipate people will just send me a message, and then I can refund or substitute or explain as needed from there. But a lot of my time has been just sunk into husbandry and packaging. So the slog is not going to be over until November of that. So yes, horseshoe crab roaches, very easy to keep. They seem to like, I found over the years, wood-based substrates, but it doesn't have to be rotten woody. Really, you can just get cypress mulch or the hardwood fuel pellets or the smoking fuel pellets that are like apple or oak or things like that, and you can just use that for them. In the wild, they're found, at least tenebracosa is found in logs, and I guess also under rocks and leaf litter and stuff like that, but logs seem to be a very reliable place to find them. And so I've been having great success with my Hemiblabra with a primarily wood-based substrate, and then just the regular roach food on top of that. So the dog food and the apple and all that. Pretty high humidity has helped prevent the serratia or whatever causes that red coloration in them. Hasn't entirely done away with it, but it does not occur as frequently as it did before. Title, how long does it take Hemiblabra rosenii, CF rosenii to reach breeding age if kept at around 78 to 80 degrees? So I haven't paid too close of attention to rosenii, but the tenebracosa that I got, I have been watching very closely, and I started with those in January or February, and I had them really hot at first. I don't think I should have done that. I think it reduced the lifespan of some of my initial adults, but after that they were fine. And then I got adult females 2-3 months ago. So that's with okay to good care. That's January to July, August. So that's like 6 months. I wouldn't be surprised if you could get it as little as 4 months, or if it would be as much as a year. So I would imagine rosenii, CF rosenii is very similar. Hello, some eggs. Jordan Henderson saying thank you. All right, we got a good number of people in here, so we're going to go through a couple of things. first of all, I have a very important announcement about my personal life, and that is that as of last Sunday, Angela and I are now engaged. So I wanted to wait for a couple of people to be here to bring that up, since I don't usually bring up personal stuff on the stream, but that's a big thing, and I wanted to bring it up because I'm very happy about it. And thank you everybody who's giving the congratulations. It was the next logical step after she's survived the trips and survived 10 months of it's been 10 months that we've been together official, and it was only a month and a half-ish before that. Alan was worried that I got her pregnant. Thank you, Alan, for being the what's the word I'm looking for here? For being the utilitarian optimist here, I guess. So, still haven't met her, says Eric Matthews. She's here, but I don't know if she's kind of bashful about being on stream sometimes. At least Kyle isn't pregnant. That's very true. That's every day I wake up and thank the powers that be that I have not gotten pregnant by whatever definition of the word. However, my friend Mark, who recently bought a house, did use an interesting phrase when I was trying to convince him or showing him some geckos that he had wanted for like a decade now, and finally there were some available that he kind of was looking at, and so I was texting him pictures, and he said that he could not indulge because he was poor and with mortgage, and I thought that was that just tickled me, the phrase of poor and with mortgage instead of poor and with child. So man, I was hoping he was pregnant. Thank you, everybody, for your weird Roach Crossing fantasies here. Can we start calling her Mrs. Crossing? Oh, there we go, Mrs. Crossing. I'll have to ask her that. And before nobody here is asked, thank you, everybody, for nobody asking when the wedding is, when the this is, because we're kind of sick of people asking us those questions. As much of a wonderful event in life, milestone this all is, we're just kind of like we kind of want what everybody's saying here is just the congratulations and oh that's so wonderful, and just kind of the pat on the head sort of thing, and not quite the big questions that are going to give us severe anxiety. Yes, everyone knows Kyle's last name is Crossing. Kyle Crossing. Sounds like a original short story by a art school college student protagonist to me. So anyways, that's that big news. Yeah, so we've said that. What's her favorite roach? I'll have to ask her what her favorite roach is. Oftentimes I'll show her stuff and she'll be like, oh, that's really cool. Oh, that's really cute and stuff like that. Or I really like this. I think she likes hissers. She is. I had some big male Hortentosa, full size adult males that I did something stupid with, and they escaped into this room. I was not concerned about them breaching any other bins because they're gigantic males. So I was just like, oh, they'll just pop up in the room at some point. And she found one in the bathroom the other morning. It was just like, Kyle, I like tried to put a cup over it, but it was like too big. And I just figured I'd come get you. So, yeah, Civic. So, yeah, Civic. Kind of important, I would say. I know there are a million reasons to be with people, but I would say to make sure that your partner at least I'd say a good partner at least sees your interest or your love of something and at least respects that and is willing to engage with you on those terms of you at least liking it. Even if they don't really like it or they're not really into it, they're happy for you. So Jordan just get a new girlfriend. That might be some wise advice from Mr. Zen Monkeys here. Is she ovo? No, she's viviparous actually. I would hope that she was not any other sort of parody. I would hope. Does your partner like to get smacked with a roach when doing doing the needful? Probably not. I would not appreciate that. In general, I would prefer not to get smacked with roaches. I would prefer to catch them or to look at them in containers, as a matter of fact. So, violence is never the answer. Only the question. So, well, you get the answers to the questions you ask. So, anyway, so that was that big announcement. So thank you everybody for your congratulations. The other announcement is today is a special day for the live stream because this is the not 1 year. This is the 2 year anniversary for the Roach Wiggle. We've been at this for 2 years now. We've built our nice little group of folks here. Alex, the announcement is that Angela and I are engaged. That was the announcement. But now the next announcement is that we are again at we're at the 2 year anniversary of the Roach Wiggle. So thank you to everybody who's been here since the start. And I see everybody here. I see all the icons with the avatars with the faces, but also with the letters and the usernames. Some have changed, some have stayed the same. But I would like to give a shout out to Some Eggs, who I think holds the record as the very first person to comment in the chat in the live stream. And Some Eggs has definitely been here since the very beginning. I think Alan's been around since the beginning too. There's a suite of people who have been here. And if I'm forgetting you, I apologize. Some Eggs has had the exact same picture, the exact same name this whole time. So it's very difficult to forget that. So, Orang Mango, I got my partner into isopods and they outbid me at the auction. That's hilarious. So yeah, we're gonna do a giveaway. I'm working right now to figure out. I know what I want to do for the giveaway, but I'm working out exactly how I want to do it at this very moment. So we'll see. I'll get it together. Oh yeah. We'll get this together. It's quite a historic day. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here for 2 years. Again, it's gonna be a good giveaway. Wow. I'm just looking at something right now, and planning the giveaway. That's what I'm doing right now. Wow. With what I'm looking at, just wow. Fascinating. I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at right now. I wish you could, but it'd give things away. But I'm just having a good old time here, looking at something. But I'll trip down memory lane. Wow. With what I'm looking at right now. No pressure. I was just wondering if my order shipped. I think so, LC. I'm not 100% sure. If it has not shipped yet this week, it should be shipped by the end of the week because tomorrow's going to be another round of me boxing stuff up. Wow. Fascinating. Anyway, so there was something else that I was going to just tell us what it is. Something just I can't until I figure out the exact angle I want to take for the giveaway here. But I gotta find a specific thing. Gotta find a specific thing that I'm looking for is the issue. But Anyways, I'll stop being cryptic. Giving away to whoever's name is closest to Derek Matthews. Giveaway goes to longest chat user. Didn't I do a giveaway pertinent to your name, Some Eggs? I think that I had Smack also. Welcome. Good to see you. I thought I did a giveaway or something for Some Eggs stuff, but I think maybe I asked who was the first commentator on the Roach Wiggle. I think I did that. So, meme contest. That was a meme contest. Was at the auction. That was who won that? It's the person who has the vampire crab. Was it Giosa Sarma? Is their avatar? It's difficult because I have to keep track of like a 3-way thing for everybody. Where it's like, what's your Discord name and avatar? What's your YouTube live stream name and avatar? And then what's your email address, your actual name, and then if there's an avatar associated with that, and they get all scrambled up. What year did Roach Crossing open a site? See, Alan, I want to do something like that, but it's got to be a little bit more. It's got to be a little bit more special than that. So and so I gotta figure it out exactly. Oh, that would be an easy one. I don't know if that would do a weird dox of me or not. I might do that. I think I know what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to do it just yet. We're going to wait a little bit. What's the scientific name for the sand brats? Is that the orang mango? Is that an actual question, or was that a proposed trivia thing? I won't answer because I'm not going to do that as the one. But I guess I'll just answer. It's Leukolepisma. There we go. Cinnamon challenge. What is this? 2017. It's an actual question. Yes, it's Leukolepisma arenaria. Give it another 5 years and more people keeping them, and sandbrat will become the vernacular name. It fits because it's in the same clade as firebrats and it's found in sandy places and it has no common name yet. Some eggs asking, what did Roach Crossing's old logo look like? Yeah, I'm trying to figure out if I wanted people to do some digging for this, or how off the top of all the old geezers who've been buying bugs for years, if they'll remember. Do you think it's worthwhile to go out and collect some Narcissus woodruffi? I'll divert the answer to that to Alan because he could probably speak better for their conservation status and also the status of captive stock. Wait, is there a Discord now? Yes, Smack. There has been a Discord for a very long time. It's not a Roach. It's the Roach Crossing auction Discord. People have been really hanging out in there quite a bit lately, and I fight with myself about expanding it to make it bigger because obviously, I have all my clients in one place and stuff like that. But I don't want to manage it, and I know there's plenty of people who've stepped up to say, "Oh yes, I'd like to manage it," but like, I don't know how big of a scope I want things to swell to. It's a lot to manage, and I don't think I'm quite there yet. I might be putting an inhibitor on myself with this, but it's also the reason why I haven't really put a sales section or something up in there is because obviously I trust all of you guys, but you could have some random person come in and I would like to avoid things like that, like the plague. So Eric Matthews asking, how do you memorize all that Latin? The syllables, what do they call that when you kind of have like a little way of remembering something? I forget what they call that. It's not like acronym stuff. It's like certain ways you say things, or you kind of remember a scenario or something when you recall the memory. It also helps to just learn them off the bat and use them all the time. What is Roach Crossing's old forum username? Yeah, see, something like that, Some Eggs. I think I'm probably going to fish for something in that vein. But basically, I think I know what I'm going to ask for the trivia. But I'm not going to ask it just yet. We're going to wait just a little bit longer. But I pulled up the Roach Crossing site on the Wayback Machine and was looking at, when's this from? It's incarnation from the 22nd of October 2011. So I guess we're getting pretty close to the 12-year anniversary of Roach Crossing, the website. There will be a big. I got to figure out exactly when I started. Because when I started selling roaches and made Roach Crossing the site, there's some staggering between when I became an LLC and started paying taxes as an LLC and when I was just paying however it worked when I was not incorporated. I would still pay tax, sales tax, and all that jazz on things before I incorporated. But I guess 2011 is as good as you're going to get for when Roach Crossing was started. So they'll probably do something huge for the 20th anniversary. Is that like, oh my God, the 20th anniversary. So everybody stick around, be alive until then. We'll do something huge for the 20th anniversary, and what's that? 7-8 years. Do something big and crazy for that. Maybe throw open the doors to the future Roach Crossing facility and let everybody come on in, Mnemonics, that was it, Satchel. Thank you so much. Also, Joseph, welcome. I see your hey. I see the shout out there. Some eggs says, I got into roaches about 2017. I was obsessed with the Ischnoptera species cherry, so now I get nostalgia when I see pictures of them. Never actually got them. The species cherry, is that what was some of the stock out of Florida was being called at some point? Because I have, I don't know if you want the Ischnoptera species from Perry, not the cherry, but the ones from Perry, Florida. Those have been doing really well for me for a long time. 8 more years, no promises. I'm old and feeble. You gotta stay or stick around. Just be like a revenant or something. Come back just for the Roach Crossing anniversary. Jordan Henderson, fun fact: you sold me my first roaches in 2020. Wow, that wasn't all that long ago, and yet it was 3 years. It's pretty crazy. Sorry, strawberry, not cherry. Oh, the strawberry longwing roaches, the Ischnoptera rufa. Well, yeah, you could always just get them at any time. I have them. They've been doing well for a long time for me. 2019 between 2019 and 2020 was the Roach Crossing renaissance. When did we start talking? Oh, Satchel, 2012, 2011. It's been a long time. How long will this live stream be? Good question. Angela and I, we have a date to watch some anime after this. So I'm going to try to keep it to around an hour because she needs to get home. She has a massage client she has to do tomorrow. So she can't stay too late. She cannot have a late anime night. But and I have to get up for Will tomorrow. So I think we'll be another half an hour-ish. Which anime, says Jojo Bugs, asking the important question. Everybody is asking which anime. So she dragged me into Inuyasha a week ago or 2 weeks. No, actually, it was a couple of weeks ago. So we've been watching Inuyasha. It's pretty good. I'm surprised at how the quality of the animations. I'm surprised. Like the budget for that anime must have been gigantic because right off the bat, in every episode has a couple of really well animated sequences. They're not really cutting corners in a lot of places. So we've been watching Inuyasha, and I realized that it's like 168 episodes. It's like, okay, this is gonna be like a 2-year endeavor of watching this. But then it's my turn to pick the anime. I've been enjoying it greatly, actually. But it's my turn to pick the anime, so we're gonna watch Fooly Cooly tonight. So that's on the table. I found some species of Aranavega in Bakersfield, California. What do you think it is? LC, how much money do I have to throw at you to get those Aranavega? Because we need California Aranavega. They're cursed, and it is all the roach keepers' desire to break the California Aranavega cultivation curse. So let me know. I think there's like 12 species in California, just like west of whatever that mountain range is that was in Sierra Nevada or whatever. There's a bunch of species there, and for some reason Californians don't find enough of them. They're not very reliable for finding them. So please let me know. Send me an email or text me or whatever means of contact. I will try to bribe you. So if you get adults and they're really tiny, I think that's Darwini, and I would really like those. It was actually the smallest. You're even smaller than Eutherhapa at adulthood. I had them once. Somebody on Arachnoboards sent me a group of them, and I actually wasn't taking too bad care of them, but I only had like 4 of them, and they were really weirdly spaced out between males and females maturing, and so I was unable to get a culture going. I don't think I was skillful enough at that point to really get them going either. And I didn't know all the little tips and tricks. So I would like those again. One day I'll do California collecting trip. That's probably gonna be in the distant future because the logistics of going through California and collecting are not the best with its distance from Michigan and the accessibility of different things. And if I went there, it wouldn't just be a couple of days; it'd be like a week or 2. So big Texas collecting trip is going to happen before California. But do let me know on that. So let's see. Other things. So I would like to open things up now to get, Al might do a California trip next year. That'd be neat. Open things up now to everybody who's here to ask you for input. Megasoma sleeperi in California. Train of thought. Input on things you may want to see incorporated into the Roach Crossing overhaul. We had talked about a couple of things for detailed species care information. There were a couple of things that people wanted me to add, and I don't think I wrote them down because I think I said we were going to table that until later. But now we're going to start having the conversation. So you let me know in the chat things that you would like to see for the overhaul. So detailed species information. I'm personally going to add satchel ventilation preference for species. That's top of the list because I'll probably have a couple of separate categories. There will be air humidity, ventilation, and air flow. So as I go on, there's a need to go through all of these things because before I reduced it to air humidity and substrate humidity, etc. I will probably still keep substrate humidity on there. Maybe find a better way to convey that information. Perhaps saying front half dry, back half moist, or something like that for different species. Some eggs bring up browse by family, subfamily, artificial taxonomy. I'm going to put that on here. Browse by tax. To an extent, I don't care about some of the things that people would want because, again, perfect example is the cart function. Is people mentioned do a cart, do this, and I've said no, I'm not going to do that basically, and I will stick to my guns with that. But so that's one of those examples. But with one of these other examples, it's still kind of up in the air. I like the idea of having just so you can click certain parameters, maybe little checkbox type things, and you can go through and narrow things down to exactly what you want and do it in a sort of aesthetic way. Prairie Moon Nursery currently has that on their website. It's wonderful, but I would like it to be a little more basic looking. It's like a side scroll thing. It's probably not. I think I've looked at it in mobile. It's not very mobile friendly. So maybe having a page where you can the sort by page where you can tick all these boxes you want at the top, and there will be just an infinite list of roaches beneath it or whatever. And as you check the boxes, it will eliminate the options from the list that are not what you want. And while on that list, you would have the picture of the roach, the Latin name, the common name, and that's it. So you get a quick at a glance look at stuff that way, and then you can go to the individual pages and have all that information there. Let people add photos and personal care tips. Eric, that's more of something I think I would want to do in the direction of a forum, and that's a little outside of my desired range of things I'd like to be responsible for. I'm not going to rule it out, but simultaneously, there's still the Roach forum, which I have not been on Roach forum in years, and I've said I'd love to go back, but then there's also this little enclave that's formed here, and now forums are kind of dying with Facebook. Then also Facebook's dying, and now there's Discord and all that stuff. So I'm not sure how involved in that sea of stuff I'd like to be. I would also like to finally, after all these years, add a reviews section. And this is anytime you open yourself up to public discourse and forum on things, I accept that there will be somebody who will ask me to send them only sixth instar Paraplaneta Americana females and one male that's first instar, and they need it shipped on a Wednesday, but they have to have it held for pickup, but at their other house, and but they can't pay this week because the money that they get for selling daisies didn't come in, and so they're not going to be able to pay. And then contacts me the next day and says that they bought them from somewhere else and they were 1/100th the price, and that I didn't reply fast enough, and that horrible customer service and blah blah blah. And I will welcome such reviews on the page, because I feel like the average person is good at looking at a series of reviews and seeing when somebody's being unreasonable or something, and it will also give people a better idea of what to expect when ordering. For example, order times for things. I try to get things out as fast as I can, but obviously right now, especially, I'm only one person. But anyway, so I would like to get that up there. I would like to get the reviews up there, and maybe have it be 10 stars and then a little ditty about what you ordered or what have you, and only delete things that are clearly spam. The most vicious, savage things anybody puts up there, I will just leave for all to see. So let me go back and see. We had a question about husbandry for something. Cubaris Red Edge, similar to Panda Kings in care. They will not take it nearly as dry as Panda Kings do, in my experience. But other than that, pretty much the identical care to Rubber Duckies and the Ducky clan, basically. Exotic Willis for the overhaul. I'm just waiting for pure Dubrovniks. Yeah, I mean, you can get those from me now if you really wanted to, Exotic Wilderness. Risque photos of your webmaster. I heard they're pretty hot. We'll do the yearly calendar, the men of Roach Crossing and Roach Crossing adjacents, where we're all dressed up as shirtless firefighters in various poses next to the Roach tanks. I'm sure that'll go over really well. Downloadable database. Yeah, Eric, that's kind of what I'm gearing towards. ZenMonkey and I have to see what ZenMonkey can do with the information I get. I am aware I have very little intention to utilize most of the information on the website in the sense that I don't want a bot to go through and grab all that info and throw it into a table, and then I go back and edit and say, oh, actually, I meant this temperature range for this piece. No. This is from the ground up with just the spiritual framework of what's already there. So again, I'll look at it and say, okay, well, the temperature range, that's important. Humidity, that's important. This is that's important. But just using that to go back in, probably in an Excel document, and put all that information back in manually, because I want to update pretty much all of it with new temperature ranges and humidities and food and climbing, non-climbing, and blah, blah, blah. I want to go back in and edit all of that stuff. So some eggs like the range maps. I did too. I really like the range maps. I feel like what I can do there is I may just put that in the flavor text section, more information about and more information about where things were collected or where they are found in the wild. But I don't know. Again, the range maps are basically what's available on the cockroach species file with just a splash of what we've found out from people collecting them, mostly North American stuff. So, like the Euthlastoblata that are found in Florida, it's just, oh, well, we just color in Florida as part of its range because we collected it from there, even though there's no official records on the cockroach species file of it from there. So, but maybe I'll just point people to the cockroach species file for that information because it's already there, and I know it's easier for them to input that information than it is for me to for all their maps and stuff. Eric Matthews saying reject reviews from anyone who never ordered. That can be difficult because not everybody uses the same name in every place. But again, taking things with a grain of salt. I do not foresee a brigading in the future. But I would probably make a public statement should something like that happen. Maybe say something like, "Hey, for some reason, there's 100 good reviews and 900 bad reviews, and half of them say want kinky sex like my webcam show," and then a link or somebody saying, "Oh my gosh, the people." I had an example for Angela of somebody being really annoying. Like I bought this from them, but they didn't have this other thing, and it's like it's not on the site. We never talked about it. It's like, are you just you wanted Cubaris species right out of the jungles of Vietnam from the rain puddle that was just smuggled in, and you're giving me a bad review because I don't have it or something like that. Well, anyways, I think it'll do more good than harm. So. Braden knows a few people that run sites and they purge most of the bad reviews. Yeah, see, I don't like the idea of that. I would like any of the scratches of Mars to stay up there. It's a reminder for me to try and do better. But again, it's also an indicator to other people how unreasonable some other people can be. So if you see somebody you were thinking about buying bugs of on Facebook and they write a scathing review on a well-known insect seller's website, you may think twice before you engage with them. So somebody says, I don't think the site needs a review section. All right. That's also very valid. I mean, I could change my mind about this. I could be flippant. So ZenMonkey, depending on how detailed you're willing to go, you might include a one-time use code with each order. The code would allow a proven customer to post the review. That sounds like more work for me, and I don't like that. Cubaris species brown box. Oh, that's hilarious. That's great. Yeah, that sounds like more work for me. But anyways, I'm again, people keep telling me things that you'd like to see. I already have my ideas. Mr. Zen Monkey, within the next 2 weeks, I should be getting you that the cryptid photo of what I like kind of the individual pages on Roach Crossing to look like. I really need to just pull up like a website maker and toy around. I'm not going to do it on WordPress. I just want to get it somewhere else, get it away from all the stuff that's already on Roach Crossing and just kind of re-examine it there. I guess we'll do the giveaway now because the clock is winding down for the amount of time left in this stream. Somehow it's gone by ridiculously quickly. So I'm going to here's the question for the giveaway for the Roach Crossing Roach Wiggle second anniversary live stream. I think it's off by like 2 or 3 days, but Thursday's not going to be the exact same date every year. So here's the question, and your prize for winning this is a starter culture of Pseudoglomerus magnifica Kuk Fuong. So starter culture, 12 individuals, free shipping, free everything, blah, blah, blah. And that question is, according to the oldest iteration of the Roach Crossing website, what is the email address you should use to contact me for ordering or questions? According to the oldest iteration of Roach Crossing, what is the email address that you should use? There's one answer that's kind of right, but I'm looking for this very specific one. Very specific. And there's a hard answer because I have the page pulled up, so I know exactly what it is. People, longtime customers, you should know this. This used to be my email address for orders until, I don't know if it was, I think it was 2016. It's not K Kendall. You need to put the whole thing. I don't care if you put the whole thing there. I did retire it, but I think it still forwards me emails, actually. Got a lot of people digging around for the old Roach Crossing email. Surprised people don't remember it. It was pretty iconic, I felt, because it was like, why is this your email when I'm contacting you about roaches? So people are getting close. I want the whole thing, though. Got to type the whole thing out. And again, very specific. I'm going off of the old iteration of Roach Crossing. I might know this, but I don't want to take the giveaway. Satchel's not ready for pseudoglamorous. YouTube might block email addresses from being posted in the chat. Let me see if I can do that. If I can do it. It's blocking the answer, I think. All right. You guys, you can post it. Just I think you can put a space between every component. This is not the answer, but I'm going to see if it will let me post it. ArbZDF, you got it. I'll take that because, again, people are saying it's blocking it in the chat. You found a creative way around it, which is why I was saying it. Now I can't delete. There we go. I'll remove my message. There we go. So ArbZDF contacted me. ArbZDF winner. Wait a minute. Actually, Arbs, I got to take that away from you. Actually, because it's not spelled correctly. Redacted. Incorrect spelling. Somebody get in there and do the snipe. Part of it is iconic. I had to read it again. All right, Arbs got it. Arbs with the rebound. Congratulations. The Z is very important after the clause, or after end clause at AIM.com. Good, Arbs. I'm glad that you got in there with the refire. It's iconic. The Z is at least iconic for me. So, but that's what it says. AIM, not even at AOL.com, at AIM. Man, did anybody use the AOL Instant Messenger? I remember first getting it when I was in middle school, and then I used it up until probably 2016, and then they retired it, and then they retired AOL Mail too. That was like when the team starts walking off the field, but the ball's technically live. Yeah. Satchel says, funny story about this email. This is how I realized I crossed paths with Kyle in the Zoo Tycoon fandom years before I met him in the Bug Sphere. That's right, Satchel. You said that you knew my username with the that mod that I put out, the ornate box turtle mod for Zoo Tycoon 2, which is, again, it's a small world. It is a really small world, 1,000 bits per minute for ARB. I can only imagine RZBF's heart rate after that. Yeah, through the roof. But yeah, so here, I think I can post the text since I'm the king dude here in the stream. Aim chat ripped. Oh, it's just over the right amount of characters. Oh no, I can. There we go. That's the old text from the Contact Us page. Have questions about pricing, care, or anything bug-related? Just ask. I look forward to hearing from you. Please send an email, including your order list or question, to raptorandclaws@aim.com. Arbs, yes, they can go out with your auction order. Just shoot me an email saying which one that is. Title said, I had so many Zoo Tycoon 2 mods, my game stopped being functional. I will never forget when I realized I didn't want to code, do coding for a living or anything. It was when there are two instances. There was work trying to do some stuff in Blender to modify models in Zoo Tycoon 2, but the real one that was the nail in the coffin, I think, was after I scaled back the ambition of doing the Blender modeling. And I went into, okay, I'll do a simple mod. I'll just take this already existing entity in the game. I will upscale its size, and I will modify its behavior. It was just a couple of, it wasn't even, I don't even know what it's called. I don't do coding, but I just changed a couple of variables. There we go. That might be the word. I changed a couple of variables in the game, and then I loaded the mod in. It was a saltwater crocodile. I think I was trying to do out of the Nile crocodile. So I just scaled it up, and I changed something with like the habitat preference or something. So I went in to the game, and I was so excited. You know, I saw that it had successfully put it onto like the animal list, you know, so that wasn't a problem. So it was like right there at the end of it. I was like, oh my gosh, it worked. This is great. Like the universe is infinite and wonderful, and I can't wait to keep doing this. And then I started placing them into their little habitat in Zoo Tycoon 2. Not Zoo Tycoon 1, Zoo Tycoon 2. I started placing them into the habitat. And I remember everything went fine for quite a while. Well, not quite a while. Everything went fine for a couple of minutes. I put like 10 of them in the enclosure. Everything was running just fine. And then I just remember all the models, they weren't even T-posing. They flipped vertically. So all these crocodile models flipped vertically, and the textures completely disappeared on them. So they're still moving around and walking and all this stuff, but everything was just vertical and completely solid white from having no textures. And then the game just stopped existing. Like the completely crashed. I don't even think I got an error code or anything like that. The game just completely stopped existing on my computer. And I like went back in and I tried. I like went back into the code. I tried to like I went back in. I tried to like I was like, okay, I'll just make it all back. I'll just set it back to the defaults for the other thing, and it'll still be there. And somehow that made it worse. I don't remember exactly how it made it worse, but it was frustrating enough that I said, I'm never doing this. I don't like this. I'm not doing this. So somebody asked me if I'm a furry. That's a good question for a Roach Crossing After Dark. The short answer is no, I am not. LC asking an actual bug-related question. Yes, male Aranavega are the ones that have wings. We do not know of any any Aranavega with winged females. Satchel seconding the modding experience in Zoo Tycoon 2. I took a common raven and scaled it down to be an American crow. Yeah, so you went the other way. Bipedal saltwater crocs by Child Kyle Kendillion. Yeah, but somehow I got the box. Okay, here's what happened. There was a well-known modder who did not cause space-time distorting monstrosities like I did. I think his name was like Penguin 2 or something. It was a very popular mod on the Zoo Tycoon 2 forums. But he, I did the not the textures. Yeah, I did the textures. I did the textures for the ornate box turtle and just told him the parameters that I wanted. And so he did all the coding. It wasn't much. It was just scaling down like the tortoise or something like that and changing the biome. Something that was very simple for somebody with a higher IQ than I have. And that's how that mod went live. I was fine at making skins. They look great on the actual, they look great in the game, but he did all the hard work, obviously. I think his name is Blue Penguin or something. But yes, I do have a mod somewhere on the old Zoo Tycoon 2 forums of the ornate box turtle. So so congratulations to ArbZDF on your pseudoglomerus for the second Roach Wiggle win, second anniversary, and they have no intention of stopping doing these. I imagine after the move they're going to get, they may not get fewer and far between until after the move. I think during the move, if anything, I'll just come in and say, hey guys, I have a half an hour, everything's awful and horrible, and I'm so overworked that I have no time for anything, but everything's going to be good eventually, and that'll probably be how that'll go. A discussion that Angela and I had is, will I have the office in the Roach Crossing building or in the house? And while I thought it would be nice to have it in the house, so that way when I go to do my packing work and stuff, I don't have to worry about emails or all the stuff that the computer draws you into, horror creepypasta, being trapped in the office at Roach Crossing, the hands reaching out at the screen or whatever. I heard Nazi. She just made a sigh. Anyways, Then I thought, probably a good idea to have it in the Roach Crossing building because I'm really looking forward to the work-life balance separation because I will work 10 hours a day a lot of the time because I am very driven to get things done. And especially if I'm in a space devoted to just those tasks, it's a lot easier for me. And here it's more like, even when I'm trying to get away from work, which I need to do to recharge so I can be good at what I do and not be exhausted and tired of it, getting away is very important. Not because I don't love it, but because I love it so much, I realize I have to take breaks from it to rest myself. But having the separation of church and state there, I feel, is the best thing to do. So it's very likely there will be a formal office. Maybe Roach Crossing will have a small conference room type thing in the future, and that could also function as the office. I've seen that at a couple of universities. The conference room is kind of the office when it's not being used for conferencing. So, Smack asking which cockroach is the most friend-shaped. I'm going to go with my gut reply there. I think that Eutherhappa pacifica adults are the most friend-shaped cockroach. I'm going to go ahead and say that. They're fuzzy, they're cute, they're tiny, they got kind of like a children's toy aesthetic to them, kind of. So, Magnificent Animals saying Ergala, some egg says Diploptera. They're all kind of they're in that pleasant shape. They're oval shaped ish, round or oval. Satchel says a year or two I reinstalled Zootekken 2 because I was feeling nostalgic. Spent about 30 minutes becoming enraged and frustrated by the terrain editor tool. I remember it being pretty good in Zoo Tycoon 2 compared to Zoo Tycoon 1. I remember that causing a lot of rage. That game was definitely the skill ceiling for Zoo Tycoon 1 was definitely much higher than Zoo Tycoon 2 because of the promotional material would show these beautiful like combined animal enclosures with like half of one biome stuff and half of another biome, and all the maps had that very pleasant 90s gradient texturing to them when you would like move on to a new the big map before you made your zoo. But then you get into the game and it's like, oh, I can't keep the gazelles with the giraffes because the giraffes want more trees and the gazelles want more grass. They're gonna like get so pissed and die. And so it was like you couldn't actually do those most of the time. You had to have a separate enclosure for everything. So it sucked. Alan says Pierce Fierce are friend shaped. That's too isopod adjacent for my tastes, I think. Stephen Logan asks, how long do the Troglodilo green spot and the Diablos take to reproduce? Troglodillos reproduced pretty soon after I got them, but they were pretty big when I got the first set of them a year and a half ago. And the Diablos, I just got them a month ago, and I saw a litter a week or two ago. But I'm not too optimistic because of what's happened with the tricolors and how those didn't really take for me. So I'm just happy that they had babies, but I'm not like, oh yeah, I got them going. Oh yeah, they're breeding so good. And I won't upload a picture to Google Images of a female with a bunch of babies around and be like, see, it's easy to breed. It's easy to get babies, maybe. So Orang Mango also, will you have any more Cubaris Benitensis Yuma in the future? Yes, I will. They're doing very well for me. There will be more. They will go on the website as well. Anthony Green says Zootekken 2 1 also had way better expansions. There's Marine Mania, the prehistoric something. Was there an endangered species one, or was that Zoo Tycoon 2? I can't really remember which one had that. I do remember the menu theme for Zoo Tycoon. Oh, I thought it was another thing when I was thought I would become a coder or something. Was going into the Zoo Tycoon 1 files and grabbing all the music and stuff, like just seeing the files there, like they're just there, they're just hanging out. I can just copy paste them. Made me feel like I was a hacker. So, but the Zoo Tycoon 1 menu theme definitely slapped. Maybe it was the last incarnation when you had every single expansion pack that had the best to it. I think they added different instruments with each expansion pack you got. Hello, everyone. Late to the stream. Oh, sorry to hear, Jose. That's okay. We are getting towards the end of things here. I think there was something else I was gonna beg for money. That was the next thing. Not quite beg, but you guys will see. Jonathan Green. Meanwhile, actual zoos today. Viral videos of ostriches getting kicked to their death by giraffes. There's that one video of the buy some eggs. There's that one video of that rhino punting a warthog. You don't realize how fast a giant hunk of keratinized meat can accelerate and just punt something. It's pretty crazy to watch that. The warthog goes up and like a second later it comes down. It's nuts. Endangered species Zoo Tycoon 1. Thank you, Anthony Green, for clarifying on that, for elucidating that to everybody here. Because then Zoo Tycoon 2 had a bunch of expansions. They got me. They put out that mini dinosaur expansion that had like 4 dinosaurs before they actually put out like the full dinosaur expansion. They got me. And I don't think they had anything if you bought both of them. I think it was just, or maybe there was like, maybe it was one dinosaur that was exclusive to the original, the original prehistoric expansion. I think it was a Styracosaurus. So you had to buy the mini pack and then the full pack if you wanted both of them. But yeah, they got me because it's like, oh, okay, I can dinosaurs in Zoo Tycoon 2, and then they had that weird stylistic choice in Zoo Tycoon 2 with the dinosaurs to give them all like gigantic feet and like tiny bodies. It was very strange. So on my overhaul plans and features Word document, I have like 2 things written down. That's okay. That's all right. Actually, somebody said something about like species pictures. Let me scroll up and see. I think it was Satchel before the Magnifica. Maybe include both photos of the individual species and photos of your setup. Yes, that was a plan, was to get more intimate pictures of everything. Martin, if you're lurking, I'm a huge fan of your photography, and I really want to take Roach Crossing in that direction for this stuff. I think that is the future. I both like that very sterile case specimen look, and I also do like the messier look of a group of them in situ. I feel like both of those are very valuable, and I would like to have both of those available. Part of what sold me on Roaches initially was, again, the old Angel Fire site, which had a mixture of those very clinical, top-down, white background pictures of stuff like the Blabberus giganteus and the Panchlora, and then you had those messier pics of setups that just, they had a certain charm to them. So Braden says, or you have another page where you move spam or questionable reviews so there's no actual deleting going on. Yeah, I like that too. Jordan Henderson asking about mushroom compost, hardwood mulch, decaying hardwood leaves, and white rot wood, a good substrate for a millipede. Yes, even better if you kind of partition them off in the enclosure so they can pick what they like the most, and then you can, for that species going into the future, you can offer more of that. So, Elsie, I got to go tomorrow. We'll send you a few pictures of those Arena Vega. Awesome. I look forward to Elsie. I really look forward to that. Zoo Tycoon 1 also had cryptids. That's right. There was the, what was it, Xanadu, and you would get unicorns you could put in. Didn't somebody say something about the Bigfoots? The Bigfoots were a pain to take care of or something. Putting Bigfoots and T-Rex together to brawl was all my middle school brain wanted. Yeah. Set of pictures are helpful. Yes. So incorporating that into things is on the to-do list, is some aspect of setup involvement. So last thing before we get to wrapping it up on my little sticky note, I've been making sticky notes here so that I can see. I get some prompts together beforehand, and then I can make the experience a little better for all parties involved here. Jonathan has found a ton of European earwigs at my light slate. I collected 2 males and 2 females. As I understand it, European earwigs actually go through a diapause over the winter. They overwinter as adults, and then they have a litter in the spring. I actually collected a couple of them to try and propagate indoors over the winter too. So got a budding slime mold slime mold situation. There's a weird fleshy pink one that I should probably try to collect and get to one of you people in the Discord or here that wants to work with it, because it's another slime mold species. I have no idea what species it is, but it's I would like to get it to somebody who can propagate it. I don't really want to, and it's not very common. I'd seen it pop up in a couple of bins. So, and Jonathan, I don't know any more information other than that it's the adult females that overwinter and they have a litter in the spring. Just try and keep them at regular room temperature, I guess, and see what happens. And worst case scenario, just grab some adults when they pop up in like early summer next year. So I don't know. During the winter, all the European Irons decide to invade my house. Yeah, they're surprisingly still abundant here too right now. More abundant than they were during the summer, I think. So still hoping for labia minor before winter. Still hoping. Anyways, what I was going to bring up is I have convinced myself more that I don't want to ship in December with holiday shipping rush and the cold and all this other stuff. It would be one less month that I have to make insulation for containers, and I hate making insulation for containers, especially when it's just me. It's easier when I can make somebody else do it when I have an employee, but I don't know. We'll probably be around a good amount during the winter, but I hate doing it because I have other things I need to do. And so I've kind of convinced myself that I would like to take December off of shipping and by extension setting out orders, basically. Maybe with some exceptions for people who are like, oh, my son wants nothing more than a hissing cockroach for Christmas. It's like, yeah, I kind of have to. But I think I'm going to get a donation thing going up for taking the month of December off to work on just the website overhaul. And that way I can afford to exist without taking orders during that time. And if I start it sooner than later, we'll hit the goal. It's more likely that I will hit the goal amount that I need to keep operations running for a whole month here. So I will probably be putting them up on Roach Crossing within the next week. And just as I was doing before, have the donation link there and just keep people updated with a continuing, we're at this percent to the goal. So Alan says, suddenly Kyle gets 200 emails about getting roaches for Christmas present for kids. Yes, my 3-year-old Billy wants 12 rubber ducky isopods and 12 green spot isopods and a pair of rhino roaches. And he also needs 500 feeder giant lobster roaches. And Eric Matthews says, I see the auctions are well timed to avoid harsh shipping months. Yes, that's part of the magic, is being able to ship things without worrying about conditions too much. I would like to, before I give my closing remarks on the overhaul month off thing, there's a big F in the chat for, there was one auction order that I thought I should hold for pickup. I decided not to hold it for pickup because of the time of year and the place it was going to. And most of the stuff that I sent out got fried, and this is haunting me because I was this close to clicking the hold for pickup option on the settings on click and ship, and I did not. So fortunately, it was not too big of an order, but I still feel bad about it. And as far as emails of a couple days ago, everybody else's auction orders have arrived. Everything that's been shipped has arrived in pretty good shape. You know, 1 or 2 DOAs of something here and there is to be expected, but on the whole, things are arriving in good shape. So, but anyways, yes, I wanted to get that in everybody's ear that there's a good chance. Should I gotta hit the amount that I need to take December off to work on the website. But your donation, I'll probably do kind of like I did with the care guide, the Roach care guide, where there'll be a page or something on Roach Crossing after the overhaul saying, you know, thank you to these people who donated. Did I list people's donations amounts, or did I just do like tiers on the? I can't remember. I don't like listing donation amounts for things. Let me see what I did. What my tactical way of doing things was. Okay. I just listed everybody by donations. I don't know if I'll do a bracketing by like this much money or that much money or whatever. And then, unless somebody feels very strongly about it, I probably won't do that. But I would definitely do, as it says here, I would give a shout outs to everybody who donated. Do something, maybe send you something in a future box if you're over a certain amount of donation money, whatever. But the point is, I would like to justify taking the entire month of December to work just on the website because it's going to be a lot of stuff. And simultaneously, like the Roach Care Guide, a lot of people are going to find that information very useful. And it'll save me some breath in emails and stuff like that, but also just for people who need quick fixes or quick information or stuff. Title, can't wait for Kyle. Yeah, and Victor Hare too. Chain, well, good to see you, Chain. Was it you, Borrelia, you had at one of the earlier auctions? Yes, I've had Anulipes and Arcanum. I had Morava at this last one too, and I actually was able to get some more Labrador Rhyperia, so maybe those will be on the horizon. And what else? The other, I do have Anissolabus maritima as well. Still holding out for those labia minors. I really need labia minors real bad. So, Eric Matthews, I missed the donations for what? For the Roach Crossing overhaul, so I can take a month off of forcing myself to do emails and take orders and focus all the time just on putting new pictures, care information, organizing, etc. Roach Crossing because it's getting a huge facelift. So that's what I would like. I would like to put that up there so that I can turn off emails for a month and say, "Hey, everybody, I can't do emails because I'm doing website work all the time." So, well, on that note, also, I was thinking, I don't know if it would be wrapped in with that or a separate thing, but I am overdue for an isopod care guide too. So that would be, maybe I would wrap that in there and be like, it will be for the website and the isopod care guide too. So again, I could probably get away with lumping the two of them, but we'll see, because that definitely, a generalized isopod care guide is definitely needed for Roach Cross, especially in this day and age, so that everybody doesn't end up wasting all of their money on limestone and what's another super expensive thing that they sell for that stuff. Limestone's the main one. That's the one that annoys me the most. But yeah, just getting better information out there about stuff about mutations, heritability, and strains. I guess at this point I'm a little bit more obsessive about that with isopods than I am with roaches, but at the same time, Roach people have been, at least the group of Roach people who associate in the chat, are pretty good at keeping things labeled and straightened out. So Stephen Logan says donations equals chance to win X. That's not the worst thing to do in this situation. Your donation could enter people into a raffle to win something, and maybe the donation amount could be tied to the amount of credits or names or whatever you get put into the raffling thing. So that's not a bad idea, Stephen. I'm definitely going to keep that in mind. I know you brought that up for the auction too, but I think it was just a little too much for me to implement. But in this situation, donations for a raffle for winning something could be a very reasonable way for people to contribute. Shane says, I was a little late for the stream. I'll get me some labia minor just for laughs. Can you find them, Shane? I want them. If you can find them, honestly, I do want them badly. They're one of the few things that I've seen actively and enthusiastically eat flower pot fungus mycelium. Eric Matthews says Cuttlebone. I would ask Alan if he's here about Cuttlebone, because sometimes I do wonder if some of my isopods aren't getting enough calcium, but it's really hit or miss because I'll have two cultures of the same species, different strains set up like the same way, or with a slight variation where I added more of the leaf litter that I collected a couple of weeks ago versus, this other spot of leaf litter I collected a few months ago. And the one culture will just be exploding, and the other one will have like a couple of mismolts or deaths or something like that. So Alan adds it for Porcello and Venezillo, which is funny because I don't add it. I would have said that maybe you would need it more for like Cubaris or Nasodillo, and yet my Venezillo Pisum are eating nothing but roach poop. Like that's literally all they're eating is just Eurycotis floridana poop, and they're thriving. There's like maybe close to 1,000 in the enclosure now. And the Venezillo Arizonicus and Cubaris menatensis also get no supplemental calcium. They're living with the Arizonicus are in with an Aranavega, and the Cubaris don't have anything living with them. So, but they're both doing really amazing. So, Jordan asking before we wrap things up, what's the fabric on the enclosures behind you? That is muslin, just cheap muslin off of Amazon or whatever. I can't remember what gauge I get, but I think I ordered a lighter gauge once and then a heavier gauge, and I think I kind of like the heavier gauge more. Alan says it works okay as a hide since it doesn't mold, so maybe Cuttlebone's value is less in the calcium and more in the fact that it's a smooth, consistent surface that the isopods can grip easily if there's mold on bark or something like that. So, Coelacanth, thank you for joining us. We're at the tail end of the stream, though, but I appreciate you popping in. So, all right, everybody, think of more things you'd like to see or more suggestions for the Roach Crossing overhaul. Again, I'm going to start getting Zen Monkey some drafts of stuff in the near future. Thank you, Victor, for making an audible appearance. And I think we're going to wrap up the stream now. So, yeah, Chain, they're in my yard, but I haven't found them this year. I found them 2 years ago, and I'm really upset that I lost the culture. So it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. Or finding the right microhabitat. So, all right. So everybody, thank you again for joining me on the Roach Wiggle second anniversary stream. Congrats to ArbZDF for winning the Pseudoglomerus magnifica giveaway. And I'll see everybody next week. Again, think about some overhaul stuff and more updates for auction shipping will be posted on the Discord. I keep doing an ad everyone whenever I say something. So, and yes, thank you everybody who congratulated on the engagement news. I appreciate all the congratulations. So, take care, everybody, and until next time, may your cultures ever be bountiful.